Welcome, my friends. I hope you all are doing well. Today, I have something truly special for you. We all know that English is the most important language in the world. If you want a good job, you should know English. If you want to travel the world, you should learn English. If you want to start a business, English will help you connect with international clients. Even if you just want to watch movies, listen to music, or scroll through social media, English is everywhere. But have you ever stopped and asked yourself, why is English the global language? What makes it so special? How did one language dominate the entire world, while thousands of others faded into the background? And most importantly, how can English change your life? Today, we're going to uncover the shocking truth behind why English became the most powerful language in the world. But before we begin, make sure to subscribe to our channel so you never miss an important lesson like this one. Now, let's start with the real reasons behind English's global domination. Let's go back in time. 1,500 years ago, English was not the global language. In fact, it was just a local dialect spoken by a few small groups of people in England. At that time, the powerful languages were Latin, Greek, Chinese, and Arabic. These were the languages of empires, trade, and religion. English, it was considered a simple, unimportant language, spoken only on a small island. So, how did it go from that to the number one language in the world? The answer lies in three powerful forces: history, power, and globalization. Now imagine this. It's the 1600s. England is a growing power, but it's not the biggest. Empires like Spain and France are far stronger. But England had a secret weapon: its navy. The British built one of the strongest navies in history. They began traveling, conquering, and colonizing different parts of the world. Soon, India, Africa, Australia, and parts of America were under British control. And with British rule came the English language. Here's the key part. Even after these countries gained independence, English remained the language of government, business, and education. That's why, even today, countries like India, Nigeria, and South Africa still use English as an official language. Now that we understand how the British Empire spread English, let's move to the next chapter. Because the British alone weren't enough to make English the dominant language. There was another major event, something even bigger than the British Empire. And that event was the rise of the United States of America. The year was 1945. The world had just gone through one of the deadliest conflicts in history: World War II. Many powerful countries, Britain, Germany, France, were left in ruins. Their economies were broken. Their cities were destroyed. They had lost millions of lives. But one country became stronger than ever: the United States. Unlike Europe, America didn't suffer massive destruction at home. Instead, its economy grew stronger. It had the best industries, the most advanced technology, and a stable government. And with great power comes great influence. After the war, America began leading the world in almost everything: politics, economics, science, entertainment, and technology. And with America's rise came the second great wave of English dominance. Let's break it down. 1. The dollar became the world's money. One of the biggest reasons English became so dominant was money. After World War II, the US dollar became the most powerful currency on Earth. Almost every major country started using it for trade, banking, and business. Think about it. When countries buy oil, they pay in dollars. When businesses trade across borders, they use dollars. When investors look to global markets, they rely on the American financial system. And because money and business go hand in hand, the language of business became English. Even today, if you want to work for an international company, negotiate deals, or start a global business, you must know English. 2. America created modern entertainment and pop culture. Another reason English became so powerful was through entertainment, movies, music, and pop culture. In the 20th century, America became the world's entertainment leader. Before this, people enjoyed local content in their own languages. But after the war, Hollywood and American music took over the world. The biggest films were made in Hollywood. The most famous music stars were American. The most popular shows, all in English. As a result, people across the globe started watching movies in English, listening to English music, and dreaming of speaking English like their favorite celebrities. Even today, the most successful Netflix shows, music albums, and blockbusters are in English. And because people love entertainment, they learn English without even realizing it. 3. The internet was built in English. Now imagine a world without the internet. Hard to do, right? We use it for learning, working, shopping, entertainment, and more. But here's the thing. When the internet was created, almost everything was in English. The first websites were in English. The biggest tech companies, Google, Microsoft, Apple, Amazon, Facebook, were all American. Even the programming languages that power the web were written in English. Because of this, English became the language of the digital world. Even now, most websites are in English. Many apps and software programs require English. If you want to succeed in today's world, you must understand English. 4. English became the language of science and innovation. This one is huge. English became the language of science, medicine, and technology. The most important research is published in English. Top universities teach in English. Major discoveries in medicine, tech, and innovation are shared in English. If you're a doctor, engineer, or scientist, and you want to share your work with the world, you do it in English. That's why professionals in China, India, Brazil, and Russia all study English. They know to be part of global progress, you must speak the global language. 5. America's military and political power. Let's not forget power, political and military. After World War II, the U.S. became the world's most powerful nation, not just in business or science, but also in politics and defense. The United Nations uses English as one of its main languages. NATO, the world's top military alliance, operates in English. World leaders, when they meet, often speak in English. So if you want to participate in global politics, you need to understand English. Now let's zoom out and look at the big picture. English is not the most spoken language in the world. Mandarin Chinese has more native speakers. Spanish is spoken across many countries. But English is the most useful and powerful language in history. Why? Because of money, business, entertainment, the internet, science, and global politics. If you know English, you can get better job opportunities around the world, travel and communicate across cultures, learn faster because most courses and books are in English, start a global business, and reach millions of people. Enjoy movies and music without needing subtitles. English is not just a language, it's a global skill. We've explored how English became the world's most powerful language. From the British Empire to America's rise in business, science, and media, it all played a role. But now, a big question remains. Will English remain the global language forever? Or could another language, like Chinese, Spanish, or even AI translation, replace it? Let's dive deeper and break it down. By the end of this video, you'll have a clear view of what the future holds for the English language, why English is still getting stronger. Even though some people wonder if English is losing power, the truth is, English is not just surviving, it's growing. Let's look at some facts. A. More people are learning English than ever before. Did you know? Right now, over 1.5 billion people are learning English. That's almost 20% of the entire world. Even in countries where English is not an official language, like China, Russia, Brazil, and Germany, English is becoming a mandatory subject in schools. Why? Because parents, students, and professionals all understand one thing. If you know English, you have better opportunities. You can get better jobs. You can study at the world's best universities. You can communicate with anyone around the world, even in small villages in Africa or remote towns in Asia. English learning centers are opening every day. This means that English is not just a language, it has become a life skill. And this demand is still increasing every single year. The digital world runs on English. We live in a world that is completely connected by the internet, technology, and social media. And guess what? The internet was built in English. More than 50% of websites on the internet are in English. Most software programming languages are based on English words. If you want to work in technology, AI, coding, or data science, you must know English. Even social media platforms like Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube use English as their primary language. For example, when a new trend starts on social media, it usually starts in English. Most viral videos, memes, and global discussions are in English. Even when people from non-English speaking countries post content, they often use English hashtags to reach a bigger audience. This means that English is not just a language, it is a digital necessity. And in today's world, if something is strong in the digital space, it is strong in the real world too. This is why millions of people in countries like India, China, and Brazil spend years improving their English just to get better jobs. Because in business, knowing English means access to higher salaries, international clients, and career growth. So if a language helps people make money, will they stop learning it? Of course not. And that's another reason why English is still getting stronger. Now, let's discuss the second big question. Could another language take over English as the global language? The answer is, it's possible, but very difficult. Let's look at some of the most powerful languages in the world and see if they could ever replace English. Chinese, Mandarin, the most spoken language. Chinese has more than 1.3 billion native speakers, making it the most spoken language in the world. And China is one of the fastest growing economies, with a lot of influence in global trade, manufacturing, and technology. So, could Mandarin replace English? Here's the problem. Chinese is very difficult to learn. It has thousands of characters instead of an alphabet. Grammar and pronunciation are complex. Even if you learn to write Chinese, speaking it fluently is another challenge. And here's the irony. China itself encourages English learning. Many Chinese students and professionals prefer to learn English instead of spreading Mandarin worldwide. For these reasons, Mandarin is powerful, but unlikely to replace English. Spanish, the second most spoken language. Spanish is spoken by more than 500 million people and is the official language of over 20 countries. Could Spanish become the next global language? Here's the challenge. Spanish is mostly spoken in Latin America and Spain. Outside these regions, it's not widely used. Many Spanish-speaking countries themselves prioritize English for business and education. The digital and tech world is still dominated by English, so while Spanish is growing, it's not strong enough to replace English globally. Artificial intelligence, AI, and automatic translation. Some people argue that in the future, AI-powered translation will make language learning unnecessary. For example, Google Translate is improving. AI tools can now provide real-time voice translation. In the future, people might wear earbuds that instantly translate any language. So, could AI remove the need for English? Not exactly. Here's why. AI translation is still not perfect. Business leaders, scientists, and professionals will still prefer to communicate directly in one common language. And remember, English is already deeply integrated into global culture, business, and education. This means that even if AI translation improves, English will remain the dominant global language. So, what does all this mean for the future? Here's what we can expect. English will continue to grow. More people will learn it, more universities will teach in English, and more businesses will require it. English might evolve. In the future, we may see simpler English dialects that make it easier for global learners. Other languages will remain important. Spanish, Chinese, and Arabic will still be powerful. But they won't replace English globally. AI will assist, but not replace English. Technology will make communication easier, but English will still be essential for jobs, business, and education. So, if you are learning English, you are making one of the best investments in your future. Because no matter how the world changes, English will remain the language of opportunity, success, and global connection. Spending hours every single day improving their English, they know the truth. English is not just a school subject. English is not just for passing exams. English is the key to a better future. And now, you know this too. So the real question is, what are you going to do with this knowledge? Because the truth is, you have two choices. Choice 1, do nothing. You can do nothing. You can go back to your usual routine. You can scroll past this video and forget everything you've heard. You can keep telling yourself, I'm not good at languages. I don't have time. I'm too old to learn. It's too late for me. But let me tell you something. Those are not reasons. Those are excuses. Excuses that are holding you back. Excuses that will still be there next year and the year after that. And do you know what's really scary? It's not making mistakes. It's not failing a test. It's not being laughed at when you speak. What's scary is staying the same. What's scary is looking back one day and realizing you had the chance to grow, but you didn't take it. You had the opportunity, but you said no. Choice 2, take action. Or you can choose differently. You can choose to take the first small step, not because it's easy, not because you're perfect, but because you're ready to stop waiting. You can start with 10 minutes a day. Just 10 minutes. You can watch a short video in English. You can listen to a podcast while you walk. You can read a paragraph from an English book. You can speak one sentence to yourself in the mirror. And that one step will lead to another. And another. This is how change begins. This is how fluency begins. Not in a classroom, not on a test, but in your decision to keep going, even when no one is watching. Imagine your future. Close your eyes for a second and imagine this. You're traveling to another country and speaking confidently in English. You're watching movies without subtitles and understanding every word. You're working in a new job that you once thought was out of reach, because now you can communicate clearly. You're teaching your children, your friends, or even strangers what you've learned. Imagine how proud you'll feel, not because it was easy, but because you didn't give up, because you made the choice to grow. You are capable. You are not behind. You are not too slow. You are not too old. You are exactly where you need to be, to begin. No one becomes fluent in a day, but everyone who is fluent today once struggled too. They made mistakes. They felt embarrassed. They wanted to quit, but they didn't. And neither will you. Keep moving forward. So from today, make English part of your life. Surround yourself with it. Enjoy the process. Laugh, learn, repeat. Focus on progress, not perfection. Every new word is a brick. Every sentence you speak is a step. And soon, you will build your own path forward. Your voice matters. And always remember, your voice matters. Your story matters. Your growth matters. Learning English is not just about language. It's about discovering who you are and who you are becoming. So don't stop now. Keep going. Keep learning. Keep believing in yourself. Because when you do, the world won't just hear your English. The world will hear you. Thank you for watching. If this message inspired you, share it with someone who needs it. Subscribe, and let's grow together. You're not alone on this journey. And this is just the beginning.